Yeah, this whole Pusha T shit is fucking retarded, bro. Absolutely retarded. But let's get into another topic, bro. Another topic I want to touch on. Might as well touch on it. The Carmelo Anthony situation. The Carmelo Anthony situation. This kid took another kid's life, and it seems like the world, not even the world, the black community has rallied behind this kid.
B says what happened.
The live cut. I cut the live on accident. I hit the shortcut on my keyboard. It's cool. Regardless, regardless, like I said, yeah, man. It seemed like with this Carmelo Anthony situation, the black community decided to rally behind this kid. His parents made him and his parents made about $600,000, well, over $800,000, or right before making $800,000. Point is, they made about $800,000 on GoFundMe or Gives and Go. I forget which one. Now, with that being said, people don't care about what's right or wrong, and people don't care about the truth neither. They don't give a damn about reality in this case, not even a little bit. So what people got to understand is, not only did this kid take someone's life, but he also decided to not only admit to it, but he did it, and he took this kid life in the most cowardice way possible. You see what I'm saying? Most people would say, I'm pretty sure most people would agree that if you feel like you should, like you need to, then just fight. You see what I'm saying? If somebody's not putting you in a position where they are trying to take your life, you shouldn't respond with deadly force. You should fight. You see what I'm saying? Especially as a young man, as a boy, as a male, you should fight. That's what males do. We fight. That's how we've handled our discourse throughout history. Since ancient times, we would, you know what I'm saying, engage in fisticuffs. We would do like the gladiators do and fight. But no, that's not what this kid did. Not even a little bit. This kid decided to take someone's life, right? So it's a kid named Austin Metcalf. He has a twin brother named Hunter Metcalf. Their father name is Jeff Metcalf. Now, first of all, the black community wanted to push this narrative that Jeff Metcalf was a racist and that Hunter and Austin were racist, and they tried to jump on Carmelo Anthony. This is not true. Not in the slightest was this even not even close to true. Honestly, none of it was true. Yeah, not even close. Not even remotely close. Hold on, court docs. I'm gonna pull up the court docs real quick. But to get to the point, basically, the black community decided that they were going to rally behind this kid, and they did. The black community rallied behind this kid. They stood up. They stood up for this kid, and I'm talking about they stood firm on it too. They stood firm on it too. No doubt about it. They didn't care about what was right, what was wrong, what was good, or what was bad. All they cared about is he's a young black male, and he put himself in a terrible position, and they wanted to base it all around racism. Now, my problem with that is this was obviously not about racism, not even in the slightest. Majority of the people who wanted to try and make this seem like it was about racism, first of all, the black community is the one who, and black people were the ones who made this about racism. I was shocked to not see the white liberals pop out and try to make it about racism too. You would think that would be a narrative that the white liberals were going to push, but they didn't in this case. No white liberals had nothing to do with this shit. Actually, the LGBTQ community, the white liberal community, the politicians, everybody stayed clear of this whole entire thing. Funny enough, these are all the same social and political groups who weaponize, extort, and use the black community to their own benefit. Yet in this situation, when the black community may have needed them the most, sad to say, but may have needed them the most, they went silent. They went silent. They didn't say anything. And what's crazy is the black communities don't even got enough common sense to realize that maybe we should call these people out on their nonsense. But of course, that's not what happened. Of course, that's not what happened. They're not gonna call these people out for their bullshit. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit, man. Mm-mm. Not even a little bit. But anyway, let's see what we got here. What we got here. Okay, so they was trying to say that Hunter was a racist and their father Jeff Metcalf was a racist. Now, I've told people time and time again that this dude was not a racist, bro. Jeff Metcalf was not a racist. He did not say the watermelon felon thing was a response. It was a response to all the racist and fucked up shit the black community was doing and saying on the internet. It just is what it is. You may not like that, but guess what? It's reality. It's the truth. Any parent grieving about their deceased child who's being trolled and mocked and having his gravesite desecrated, urinated on, and having the most disgusting things said about them on the internet when none of these people know him, all on the behalf of a kid simply being black. Yeah, I would have said the same shit. So him saying, okay, you want a joke? I got one for you. Watermelon felon, Carmelo the watermelon felon. Yeah, I understand. First of all, it was funny. Second of all, I understand why he said it. But people did not care about that. People don't give a damn about that. And most of the people who had a problem with it, most of those people can't articulate themselves well. Most of them people can't articulate their thoughts well. Most of them people can't have a debate to any goddamn degree. So I'm not shocked to any degree that these people responded the way they responded. We got people walking around running up on random white people, beating them up, putting foot to face to random white people. I'm talking about some of the most wild shit these people were doing, all behind a kid who was obviously wrong. Obviously wrong. Not kinda, not it's debatable, not it's subjective, not, well, you can look at it from any way. No, he was obviously wrong. Obviously wrong. Just because somebody taps you on the shoulder and say, hey, you got to move, doesn't mean you can stab them in the heart in GTA. Never in life and never in history will that ever mean that. Sorry. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. But there are people who felt like this boy was in the right because he was a black kid. And sad to say, that's the only reason they felt like that is because he was a black kid. You know how nasty and disgusting it is to feel like the only reason he was in the right was because he was a black kid? Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Jesus Christ. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no way in hell that you people feel like this shit was okay. There's no way in the hell. Like, I can't support some shit because we black. No, I'm not with the tribalism. I'm with what's right, and I'm against what's wrong. You see what I'm saying? And in this situation, these people, this boy was wrong, and everybody who supported this boy were wrong. Bottom line. Matter of fact, let's get to the meat and potatoes in the situation. His mother and father left him in there. First of all, they left him in there when he was getting sentenced. They left out of there before they even knew how much time their son was going to get. They left him in there by himself. You know who was in there with him? The Metcalf family. The same people who everybody was talking shit about. Yeah, that family stayed with him in there so he wouldn't, in their words, so he wasn't alone and didn't have to face this by himself because they watched his mother and father walk out of the courtroom. Now, in a video, you see his mother and father at the same moment mentioned in the video that you see his mother and father walk out the courtroom acting as if they were Jay-Z and Beyonce going outside to meet their adoring and alluring fans. Like, what the fuck? Like, how the hell was that okay? It makes no sense at all. But yet you people find this shit cute. They find it funny. But y'all disregard and overlook all the major details. All the details that's supposed to make sense, y'all overlook them. You avoid them. Cognitive dissonance and confirmation bias is at an all-time peak high in the black community. I'm talking about you can only imagine how disturbing the black community seems to most demographics now. Like, this shit is ridiculous. We exposed the black community with this situation exposed the big secret in the black community that we kept amongst ourselves, and that is how racist the black community truly is, how hateful the black community can truly be. See, that has been a secret amongst our demographic. We haven't told anybody. We don't come out and tell people. And I bet when we did tell people, and when some people do tell people, people don't want to believe it. You know why? Because some people in their minds feel like black people can't be racist. You see what I'm saying? And their argument for why black people can't be racist is that black people can't be racist because we don't control the system that white supremacy and racism thrives in. You're right. You're right. I will give you that. But guess what? That doesn't mean that we can't be racist. It literally doesn't mean that. You don't have to control the system or the society in which white supremacy thrives in or racism thrives in. Racism thrived and existed long before white supremacy. Racism existed long before black supremacy or Mexican supremacy, Latin supremacy. Like, it don't matter. Racism has existed long before America became America. Okay? Racism has always existed. So, with that being said, we played our secret card, which is black people are racist as fuck. It just is what it is. And this situation showed it. The black community picked a fucking murderer over helping and being beside a family who lost their child to the ignorance and terrible behaviors of a black kid.
B says true, bro.
And literally, the black community supported this shit. Supported this shit without an issue. Actually, I had gotten multiple arguments with people. I watched as people would unfriend me on social media because I pointed out that this kid was wrong, and most of them could not make a real, true argument for how he was right for anything other than them saying, well, you shouldn't touch people. You should keep your hands to yourself. Well, I bet you should keep your hands to yourself. Well, if somebody touched me, bro, you know how many of y'all about to go to prison? First of all, majority of y'all people are cowards, so I don't got to worry about most of y'all doing anything. But at the end of the day, bro, y'all niggas are going to prison, bro. Like, that's not how self-defense works. You talking to somebody, I legally carry firearms on a daily basis. Trust me, baby girl, I know how self-defense works, and it does not work like that. You can't meet force with greater force. You have to meet it with equal force, especially if it's life-threatening force. In that case, you can meet life-threatening force with greater force. You see what I'm saying? Or equal to greater force. But my point is, a push, a tap, a shove isn't life-threatening. I'm sorry. Trying to point out that somebody weighs 20 to 30 pounds more than you doesn't change anything. It doesn't. But then people went as far to say that it was never a knife. Remember that part? They were saying it was never a knife. It was a cleat sharpener. Like, people went along with almost any and everything. They go along with almost any and everything that can make this boy seem like he's not a fucking capital murderer. He is. It just is what it is. He going to prison because he's supposed to be in prison. Bottom line. Bottom line. Yeah, that boy supposed to be in prison, bro. He's supposed to be in a fucking jail cell, which is where he's at now. Now, here's the fucked up part. Do y'all know that this boy was offered 70? He was offered 7 years. His original, the original plea deal was for 7 years. Yeah, he could have got off with 7 years. You know why he didn't take the 7 years? Because his parents insisted that he could beat this situation. They listened to all these other dumbass people that he could beat the situation when the situation was never beatable from the very beginning. It wasn't. Despite who was on the jury, it wasn't. But like I said, he was offered 7 years. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that means if he would have took those 7 years, that means he would have gotten away. He would have gotten away scot-free. with 3.5 years. That's all he would have been had to do is 3.5 years, and he would have been home off of what is it called? He would have been home off of good behavior or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? He would have been on parole or probation, but my point is he would have been home in 3.5 years. But at the end of the day, that's not what occurred. His dumbass parents convinced him that he could beat it, and he got 35 years. Whoop-de-doo. Now you're in prison for 35 years. You got what you deserve. They really should have gave his ass life, honestly, because there's no way in the hell that this kid was innocent. He was never innocent. You can't go stabbing people. You can't go stabbing people. You can't go hurting people and thinking that it's okay because you're a certain race that you can get away with this type of shit. That's not how life works, man. That's not how life works, man. I'm sorry. That's not how life works. It will never work that way. It will never work that way. Literally, it will never work that way. What we have to do is accept the fact that this kid was wrong. It just is what it is. He was fucking wrong. But let's go through and let's check out some of these things that this not only did his parents say, but we're gonna hear from Jeff Metcalf, the guy who they claim was racist, right? It's another guy who's known to be racist, by the name of Jake Lang, right? Jake Lang, and he's a true racist. Jeff Metcalf went out his way to not only call this dude out for his bullshit, but made it clear that he didn't want no association with this guy. Told him to take his son's face and likeness off their website and so on and so forth. That he ain't got nothing to do with this shit, and called him a fucking coward for continuing to try to push racial divide in America. You see what I'm saying? Now watch this shit. And his feelings got hurt. Keep in mind, this black guy, yeah, that is Jeff Metcalf's representative. Okay. Not only that, this guy's tied in with President Trump, all kinds of shit. Like this dude right here got a whole story behind him in itself. But
do you know if they reached out to Jeff?
They did not.
They didn't even reach out.
Have not spoke to him.
This video is interesting as hell. This will debunk. Keep in mind, this is long before Carmelo has gotten sentenced. Anything like this is in the middle. This is in the middle of all of this shit. So we're about to debunk this whole narrative that Jeff Metcalf is a racist.
Under no circumstances.
Wow. Okay.
So when I do this interview, that's what I'm going to ask him here in a minute. Like,
Great.
have you spoke with the father? And since I have, the father says he wants no part of this. Under no circumstances, he wants his kid labeled with what's happening here. So since they're going to give me an interview, I'm going to go do it.
Wonderful. We're all very excited for this.
After they finish with this.
No reason to plunge a dagger into his heart like that.
100%.
There's no reason.
100%. See, this is my organization. I see it. And I travel across the country to reduce violence in black communities.
Thank you. I stand with you, sir,
on a regular basis. But today, I'm here on behalf of the father, Jeff Metcalf.
Okay.
And what he's asking you is to not use his son's image or likeness in what you're doing. You can do what you do, but that's not what he wants his son tied to.
Okay.
Out of respect for that family.
Now, I would ask Jeff Metcalf if he would be bold enough to act like a father of a deceased young man that was